It's very good, just how you suggested we spend a few minutes meeting together in the Café de la Paix in Paris, like this.
I think it's lovely. I'm honored to have this time to spend with you in commemoration of Mr. Gurdjieff, who probably sat right over there. And we're getting together to discuss further our upcoming workshop seminar in Camp Caravan in Massachusetts, right?
That's right. The renowned by the title, The Third Force Theater.
A fourth way investigation.
That's right.
And we hope to see you there. Acting requires the physical, the emotional, and the intellectual. And it also requires being up in front of people and being seen, and provides many extra opportunities to observe oneself.
Seeing yourself, that's all you had to go on, was a call to being objective about oneself. One of the most powerful ways is reading aloud. The voice has breath in it. The voice has blood in it.
The voice travels out and is received by other people and affects them. And drama is certainly written that way. Why am I speaking? Who am I speaking to? And what do I want them to do?
But I wanted to get back to something about that dimension or an aspect of acting, which is for me, even theoretically, very, very important. That's to do with the present moment. When you're with another person, you're in a bigger present moment.
October 26th to October 30th at Camp Caravan, you and I will be there, and we hope to enjoy the presence of another 20 people to create a theater exploration around the work of Mr. Gurdjieff and others.
And others. Who are we?
Who are you?
Every day I wake up with that question. My interests were primarily, when I was younger, science, physics in particular, which I, of course, regard, and I think quite rightly, as the king of the sciences. And I met these two main influences of my life, David Bohm, the quantum physicist, and John Bennett, a pupil of Gurdjieff, who sort of like supported me in a sense to look for other ways. And so I was introduced, particularly through Bennett, to all kinds of practices about inner exercises and things like the movements. And like a friend of mine said at one time, I didn't realize you were in physics at all. I thought you were studying literature. And I was so proud. Because I thought it was axiomatic to me. A real human being should embrace everything. You shouldn't just be a scientist or an artist or a historian or a theologian or a dramatist or whatever, but why not all of them? Why are you being so meager and putting yourself into a little box somewhere?
I've spent the last 45 years of my life investigating all kinds of different theater in different countries, mostly classical, mythological, experimental, research, immersive, and taking audiences on journeys through experiences. So it's not a passive sit in the dark watching experience. It's a fully participatory experience.
Part of my concern now with this third force theater is what's sometimes called the drama of ideas. The ideas have to come alive, and they only can come alive through people. Been groping in the dark, and so I was so delighted to meet up with you, dear friend.
Even though we have no idea what we're going to do, we will be employing methodologies of theater that include improvisation, which is based on not knowing what's coming next, just diving in and supporting the other actor and being in the present moment, which you mentioned earlier.
Amen.
And we will also be working with speaking texts that are not our own.
This incredible kind of structure in these rich texts. I just read recently an article about the power of the sonnet, which is the sonnet form is developed by Shakespeare, of course. He modified the Italian form to an English form. And he said, going through this form can itself changes your thinking. A strange injunction of Gurdjieff, people puzzle about. They say, love not art with your feelings. You think, what? Well, it's all about feelings. They're not used to taking art as something which is profoundly intellectual as well.
It requires all centers to be
That's
present
right.
with other people, communicate deeply with others, and connect in a group and know you're there. I don't know anything beyond theater that does it so well.
No, no, absolutely not. It's encourage people, if they can, to read Virgil's book, Meetings of Remarkable Men. Images of landscapes and people and events and
stories, many stories
doors.
that can easily be taken up by us and brought to life in acting. It's the physicalization and the embodying of it.
It's become an amazing, powerful emergent trend in Western thinking about embodied cognition. It's actually the way we're in a body, and our physical body actually is informing us all the time, having this consciousness, which has the consciousness of our own bodies. Unless you can sweat and cry and so on, you can't understand.
So in case you're wondering if you're going to sweat and cry in this workshop, that's optional. All feelings and movements are welcome here, but they're not required. So we explore at our own speed and take steps into the unknown together. So we also will be exploring the power of dreams in some very interesting practice.
But just all around this idea by having the dream, the inspiration of, there's something lost which can be remembered.
And how they connect to our creativity, our community, how we may speak not just for ourselves, but for our whole tribe.
In my own limited experience, I've really come to the place there is that group consciousness which is there, but you just have to be willing to practice it, to give yourself to it. Yes, my hope is for revelation. I want to come across something I would never have thought of in terms of, thank God it's beyond belief, because belief is what imprisons me.
Like sometimes when people choose to go to a workshop, they have preconceptions about what it's going to be. Well, I didn't know what to expect, but I had no idea it would be this.
How often they will say, when they lift the lid, this is not what I expected. Forget about all of this, getting to the workshop. But in the workshop is quite different from the shop window. But the workshop is a totally different reality, and understanding comes in the workshop. You can't buy it. You can't trade it or anything like that. You've got to be in the work. I want to emphasize the relevance of the title, Camp Caravan, which I associate with the caravanserai, which is a tremendous image, powerful for me, because I've been in a few places which are like caravanserais, where travelers meet and they exchange stories. And it's one of the most marvelous cultural artifacts of the ancient world. And it's something I feel, when I taste it in the modern world, is so refreshing and glorious. Come to Camp Caravan as a caravanserai, and we are all just travelers, and we're just getting together to spend some time together to swap stories.
And we will be there October 26th to October 30th, and we hope you will join us there too. All the information you need is on the website. The link is at the end of this little clip, and we look forward to swapping stories with you.